In this video, guys, I'm going to be showing you how to launch products on Amazon and TikTok at the same time. Because if you do this in the correct way, you are going to go viral on TikTok, and that is going to help you crush it on Amazon. And how do I know this? Because we've got a brand doing over $400,000 a month in sales. Go and watch my other videos if you want to see me showing our exact results, all of our numbers, our profit. This is the way to absolutely crush e-commerce right now. You're combining two of the best and the biggest online marketplace, whatever you want to call it, right? You've got Amazon, the king, the daddy, where everybody goes to shop, everybody trusts it. And then you've got the new kid on the block, which is TikTok, used to create this short form content where you can drive millions of views practically for free. So in the video, I'm going to show you how to find products, the best types of products to sell. I'm going to show you the criteria for the best products that work on Amazon, but also on TikTok. I'm going to show you how to brand them. I'm going to show you how to source them and how, most importantly, to launch them. So let's get into it, right? First of all, you want to be finding products that have got a high gross margin. I cannot stress this enough. If you don't have a high gross margin, you're going to get crushed. You'll get crushed by the fees. You'll get crushed by the advertising costs on Amazon. You are going to struggle. You want to be selling your products for at least 4 or 5x whatever you land them into the country for. So if you land your products, let's say into the UK for £5, you want to be selling them ideally for £25 plus. This is going to give you a healthy margin, and you don't want to be selling products that don't have a healthy margin. You are just going to be making things very difficult for yourself, young man or young lady. The next thing, we're going to be using Kalo data, exploding topics, TikTok. We're going to be using a variety of tools, but today I'm going to show you Kalo data because there is one hack that I think everybody should be using, especially if you're in the UK, using this tool that makes product research 100 times easier. I'm going to show you that live. I'm going to do some actual research in a minute. And show you some stuff that I found earlier. The next thing is we want a big TAM. You want a product that's got mass appeal. You don't want to find things that only appeal to a very, very small number of people. You want to sell something that's got mass appeal so that it can go viral, it can get tons of views. Once you start getting those viral views on TikTok, those people are going to come across from TikTok, and guess what they're going to do? They're going to go to the big daddy. They're going to go to Amazon, the number one marketplace, the most trusted marketplace on the internet, and that's where they're going to buy the products. 20-30% of the people that see these products on TikTok, they're going to spill over and buy them on Amazon. And this is the beauty of combining these two channels together, right? So the next thing after big TAM, if you've got a big TAM, you want a repeat purchase or a subscription-based product. Now, I've said this before on this channel, but you don't really want to be selling single-use products. You want to sell products that people subscribe to, they come back and they buy them over and over again. So we've at this minute got over 4,000 active subscribers with our brand. And that is building up the value of our brand, because when somebody wants to buy it, when we come to sell it, they see we've got all of these active subscribers. It makes it way more valuable. Next up, we have got high quality and it actually works. This might seem obvious, but you don't want to sell shit that is not high quality. You don't want to sell stuff that doesn't work. You don't want to sell stuff that misleads people. Even if you make money on the front end, you want people to come back to your brand. Think about the best brands. They're high quality and people come back and buy them again and again because they love them, right? This shouldn't need saying, but it does, because a lot of people sell shitty products that people don't buy over and over. The next one is it solves a real problem. You really want to be solving real problems for people. This relates very much to the quality. If you're solving a real problem for people, if you're selling a supplement and it's something that's related to a real problem, or you're selling a skincare product and it's related to a real problem, then people are naturally going to be more inclined to buy it, right? So make sure your products are solving a real problem. The next one is it's been proven to go viral at some point. If it's a product that nobody talks about, nobody's bothered about, nobody's ever been bothered about, you're going to struggle to make it go viral. Doesn't really matter how creative you are. You want to be picking products that have got proven track records of going viral in the past. And I'm going to show you a strategy for kind of finding these products super easily in a minute using Kalo data. The next one is you ideally want it to be in a growing or trending niche. Now, it doesn't mean that you go after fidget spinners. Don't go after beef tallow. Everybody is selling that stuff. But you want to check that these products are in growing niches, things that year on year, they're going to increase in demand. You don't want to be selling stuff where year on year, the demand is just going to absolutely drop off and die. Next up, we are going to move on to branding. But first, I am going to show you how to use Kalo data. So Kalo data is a very, very useful tool. You can basically go on and you can see all of the hottest selling products across TikTok Shop. Now, the one tip that I would give to you, especially right now with the US tariffs, is look in the European markets, look in the UK market, look at selling in these smaller markets that are going to be a lot easier for you to launch products in. But not only that, you can look at the US market, you can see what's working, and you can copy it in the UK. Now, if this was me and I was starting from scratch, this is the strategy that I would use. And this is the strategy that we're teaching within our community. And if you're interested in launching a brand like this, check out the video description. You can apply to join us. I'm not going to plug that anymore, but there you go. So what you can do is you can come to the product category tab, and you can come over here. You can look across all the different markets. So they've got the US market, they've got the UK market. Sometimes it can be a bit annoying and it doesn't actually show you the right market. But basically, you can see all of the best selling products. And you can see, for example, the number one product right now is this Yerba Magic product. But obviously, these are the products that everybody is looking, right? So where I wanted to go is I wanted to go to like the 5th, the 10th, the 20th page. And I found a couple of interesting products. If I can find it and pull it up, where was it? Oh no, I have lost it. So I found a product in the US market that was, what is it? Cayenne pepper. So this was a cayenne pepper drop product, right? So basically, it's like cayenne pepper mixed with some other stuff. It's doing over $400,000 a month. This says pounds, but it's because my Kalo data account is in good old British pants. But this is a product that's going crazy viral on TikTok. And if you come down here, you can see the videos that are driving these sales, right? So I can literally go on and I can see that is one of the videos that's driving millions of views and sales for this product. So what you can do is you can find these products in the US market and then you can launch them in the UK. So you can come and you literally have all of the information that you need. You have all of this information here. You have all of the videos. You have everything that you need to do and say, or your content creators need to do and say on TikTok to make this product go viral. So this is a cayenne pepper supplement. It basically helps, I think, with lowering your blood pressure. It's something, yeah, something. I'm not exactly sure how exactly it works, but if we come across and we look at the UK, Kalo is probably going to stay on the US. So yeah, I need to change it across to UK, even though it says UK, it can be a little bit buggy sometimes. But if we come across to the UK market and we search for this, what you're going to see is that there's not really anybody selling this type of product in the UK, right? So you've got this one at the top here. Absolutely terrible branding. Looks like total dog turd. £74 a month in revenue, nothing. But what's interesting is this product down here is doing nearly £40,000 in sales, right? So this is not the exact same product, but it's the same effect. It's the same benefit, right? It's just in a different form. So these are capsules. This one up here that I found in the US market, these are liquid drops, right? So I don't know, you put them in your tea or maybe you just put it on your tongue or whatever. But essentially, it's the same benefits and it's the same pain points that these people are talking about in these videos. Because if I come back to this one and I look at what the videos are, it's the same style of video, right? It's somebody on a podcast talking about these silent killers to do with blood pressure, all of this stuff. And then people are buying this because they're worried about their blood pressure, right? So what you can do is you can take these products like this and then you can bring them into other markets. Now, I think this is the easiest and the simplest way as a beginner to start to launch products on Amazon and TikTok at the same time, because you are not risking new products that are unknown. You're basically going after things. That already exist. So you can see here, there's a lot of products that are kind of ripping off these ones here, right? But they look like absolute dog shit. Without being rude, they look absolutely terrible. So you can see this one here. This is a £20 product. This is doing over 300 units a month. And I guarantee they are making a crazy margin. Let's use Jungle Scout and see how much they are actually doing. So they're doing £8,000, which isn't to be sniffed at, especially if you're a beginner. They're doing £8,000. It's 20 quid this. I would imagine they're probably landing this in the UK for £2. They're probably selling it for 10 times what they're landing it for. And they're not absolutely crushing it. They're not doing hundreds of thousands, but they're also not on TikTok. So if you were to come in and you were to launch this type of product on Amazon, and then you were to leverage the TikTok strategy of going viral on TikTok, you're going to crush every single person on this front page, because all of these guys are going to be competing for the Amazon PPC, and you're going to be getting all of that external traffic from TikTok to help you absolutely eat these people alive. So to go back to this, right, we've got our outline, we've got our criteria for our products. We can use Kalo data. There's thousands of products on here that you can look at. You can look at the US market. You can find products like this. Maybe you could turn this into a gummy. I don't know whether you want to have a cayenne pepper gummy, but yeah, why not? Actually, a nice spicy gummy would be quite nice, wouldn't it? But you can look in the US market and launch stuff in the UK market. That's what I would do if I was starting from scratch. And now we're going to look at how you brand it. So let's imagine we found this product, right? And we're like, right, we're going to launch this in the UK market. We can come across to here and we can drag this down. And I'm going to go through some pointers of how you brand it and how you make it stand out. So first of all, the obvious one is you need to make it look different and you need to make it stand out. So if you're going to launch this product, don't do what these guys have done and make it look like this. You need to make it look different. You need to really make it stand out, and you need to create something different. The best way to do that is using ChatGPT. You can literally come across, you can type it in, and you can say something like, I'm act as a world-class designer who specializes in designing packaging for supplements. Generate me a new version of this product, but but design it in a super colorful, hyper realistic, fun and spicy way. No pun intended. Have a little bit of fun with the GPT. Generate it on a white background. Be as creative as possible and make it look hyper realistic, right? So look, I've found a product using Kalo data. I've verified that it's got demand. It's already going viral. And I'm just looking at launching it in a different market. And I've got a couple of options. I could literally just launch this exact product, which I'm pretty certain would do well because nobody is doing it very well in that other market. I could turn it into a gummy. So I could have cayenne pepper gummies. You might want to taste test that first because maybe people don't want a spicy gummy. I can use ChatGPT to brand it. And then later on, I'm going to show you how you can launch it. So stick around. So look, this is everything that we do within our community. And we've got two communities, one where we've got hundreds of viral content creators. And then we've got a community where we help people launch brands. This is all the stuff that we're doing within that community. We've got tons of people launching super awesome brands. And it's an amazing place to be. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, check it out. So I'm going to come back to this because that's taken quite a while. So look, first thing, look different and stand out. That's what I'm going to show you how to do with ChatGPT. The second thing is it serves a different demo. For this particular product, that's probably not the case, right? This is aimed, I think, at older people that are worried, perhaps people over 40 that are worried about their blood pressure, all that type of stuff, right? But where you can use this as a sort of like strategy is look at things that are typically advertised towards women and advertise them towards men. An example of this is creatine. Creatine used to be advertised towards gym bros. Now it's getting advertised to almost everybody. It used to only be advertised to men. Now they're advertising it to women. So this is one of the ways that you can brand stuff and stand out in a different way. You can just serve a different demographic than what's usually being served, right? The next thing is have a mission and build a community. So I'm not sure, again, how this could be something that you could do with this particular product that I found. But let's say you have a pet brand, or you've got a sports brand, a supplement brand. Building a community, driving people to Facebook, having a mission behind it is really going to help you with that. Think about all of the biggest brands, Nike. Think about Represent, all the High Rock stuff. All those high rocks gimps, they look a bit gimpy, don't we? All wearing the Represent stuff. But this is an example of building community, and it really helps with your branding. The next one is building founder-led content. Now, this is something that if you're leveraging this TikTok strategy, you can be making the content yourself. Now, there's tons of brands that do this on TikTok. Just go on TikTok and start browsing around for brands, clicking on stuff, and you're going to get served all of this founder-led content that you can learn from. The next point here about branding is using ChatGPT, and this is exactly what I'm doing up here, right? So let's have a look at this. Not a fan of this straight away off the bat, because they've done it in this like cartoon style. Can you redo that? But not in a cartoon painting style. Do it hyper realistic. But it does look way better. Like imagine this compared to the rest of these. This is going to stand out. Everyone is going to click on it. So this is another important point. When everyone else looks like this, you want to look different, right? You want to look different. This was the one that we saw also on TikTok, right? This was about $11.99, I think, on TikTok. So you can see this was doing about 30,000 on TikTok, and it's doing 13,000 on Amazon, right? Again, boring branding, not very good. But look at this. You can start with something like this, and then you can give it to a designer who can clean it up. But honestly, I think this would absolutely crush it. You could really stand out. I don't like it because they've done it. ChatGPT, for some reason, has made it that like painting style, which I'm not sure why it always does that. It's not really made it hyper realistic like I asked it to. But it looks cool. Imagine you take that now and you kind of apply it in a different way, and you put this branding on it. You get the packaging made, and this is a super easy product to source. So that's what I'm going to jump over to now. So sourcing products, super easy. Alibaba is your place for this sort of stuff. Go to Alibaba and search. Go to Alibaba and search cayenne pepper, and it's going to pull up all of these things, right? Okay, there we go. Look, this was because I was looking at it earlier. So you can source this. I know you can source this for between $1.80 to $3, right? $1.80 to $3. You're probably going to land this if you sell it in the UK for like £2, and then you can sell it for like 15 to 20 quid, right? So this is going to be a great margin product. It's super small because you can fit 500 of these in a box. It's not taking up tons of space on the shipping container. Use ChatGPT also. If you want to try and source other stuff locally, use ChatGPT. Ask it, where can I source these products? Give me the top, cayenne pepper suppliers in, I don't know where cayenne pepper comes from, Mexico or wherever, India, who knows, right? So use Alibaba, super simple, super straightforward. Use ChatGPT, and that's it. So let's go back to ChatGPT and see what it's come up with. Okay, it's struggling for some reason, but this is cool. Like, that looks really cool. You can imagine turning that into a brand that looks really good, and that's going to stand out on Amazon. It's also going to stand out on TikTok. It's going to look so much better than the competition. But from here, you would just give this to a designer and say, use this as inspiration, or you'd keep playing around with ChatGPT, get it to come up with different stuff. I could do this all day. It's so much fun. There's so many product opportunities. It's absolutely crazy. So the last part is, right, we found our product. We've branded it. We've made it stand out. We've sourced it on Alibaba. We've even, used ChatGPT to negotiate and all of that stuff, because you can use ChatGPT to do anything. You can use ChatGPT to take your dog for a walk these days. I wish. The next stage is we are going to launch this product. So how do you launch one of these types of products now? So you're going to be using basic Amazon PPC. What we're not going to be doing is we're not going to be using crazy levels of Amazon PPC, because what we want to do is index and rank for these main keywords, but we want to drive this external traffic. And once that external traffic starts to pump, that's when you can start ramping up the PPC spend so you can crush the competition on Amazon. Now, this isn't rocket science. There's a million videos on how to do this. I'm not going to go super in-depth on this right now, but that's the first step. The second step is you want to hire an army of content creators to create content for your products. Now, we have got a community called Honest Creators, and everybody in our brand community, in our Honest FBA community, gets access to the Honest Creators group, where we've got hundreds of trained content creators that can help you promote your products, right? So this is the last step. You want to be getting at least 5 people, 5, 10, 15 people. You want to be paying them a small retainer. And then you want to be taking these videos that you've seen go viral in the US and copy them in a different market. If you've got 10 creators that you're paying $200 a month, that's $2,000, but you can launch this product and do $40,000 a month without a doubt. And all you need to do is take these existing videos, download the transcripts, give them to the creators, get them to make the videos, copy them, make the videos yourself, and you are going to have one hell of a brand on your hands. Right. So that was the end of the video. This is how you find, brand, source, and launch products on Amazon and on TikTok. If you're interested in learning this a little bit more in depth and you want to be part of a community where we can help you through this, help you grow a brand across multiple channels. Check the video description. There's an application form where you can join Honest FBA and we can help you crush it with this sort of stuff. Hopefully, I didn't miss anything out that I was meant to say. I didn't. On to the next one. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.